In this video, we'll do a refresher of rational inequalities. We'll start with some basic inequalities. So just as a reminder, when you're solving an inequality, we don't treat it much differently than we do an equation, with the exception of three things. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must switch the direction of the inequality. Also, we represent our answers differently. Rather than just having x equals a number, we're going to do two things. We can graph the solution on a number line, and we can give the answer in interval notation, and we'll do both for these. So for our first example, we're going to imagine this is an equation, and we're just going to distribute our 3x plus 15 minus 1. Collecting like terms, I'm going to subtract 3x from each side and get 4x. Adding 2, we get 17 minus 1, or 16. And then dividing by a 4, we get x is greater than 4. We didn't divide by a negative, so we don't have to worry about switching the direction of the inequality. So when we plot our inequality, here we have the number 4. We don't want to include 4 because it doesn't have the equal to, and we want to be greater than 4. So we're going to shade in this direction. And our inequality, or our interval notation, would be 4 comma infinity. For our next example, I'm going to add 2x to each side, just collecting like terms. Negative 3x minus 2 is greater than 8. I'll add 2, so I get negative 3x is greater than 10. And then I'll divide, only this time I'm dividing by a negative. And when I do that, I have to switch that direction. So I'm going to end up with x is less than negative 10/3. So again, I don't have the equal to. Negative 10/3 is a little bit more than 3. So I'm going to make an open circle here. And I want to be less than that. So it's going to be shaded to the left. The inequality then would be negative infinity up to negative 3 parentheses. So try this one for a moment. Remember, if you divide by a negative to switch the direction, pause your video and I will put the answer. So one difference that we had here is this was greater than or equal to in the end. We did have to switch the direction because we divided by negative 4. And so we have a solid circle, and our interval notation will be negative 5/2 with a bracket to infinity parentheses. So let's take that one step further and solve some polynomial and then some rational inequalities. So let's do this first example. This is a polynomial, and we've done this in a previous video, but basically we want to find our critical points, and this is already factored. So we can say our critical points are negative 1, positive 4, and negative 2. Then I mark those on a number line. So here's 4. I'm going to make it solid because we have this equal to bar. Negative 1 and negative 2. Then I make a chart of values. So I'm going to identify on here these intervals. So I have in the first one, negative infinity up to negative 2, bracket, negative 2 up to negative 1, bracket, negative 1 up to 4, bracket, and then 4, bracket, up to infinity parenthesis. So remember, this was negative 2 and this was negative 1. And then I have to choose a test value in each interval. So I'm going to test negative 3 here. I'm going to test negative 1.5, 0, and 5. Those seem legitimate. We can choose any values that are in those intervals. And we're going to plug those in to our inequality. And we're going to decide if it's going to be a positive value or a negative value. So you can see if you plug in negative 3, the first factor will be negative 2. The second factor will be negative 7. The third factor will be negative 1, but it's squared, so we get a positive result. For the next one, I'm going to do negative 1.5. So I'm going to get negative 0.5, negative 5.5, and then again 0.5 squared, which is a quarter, so 0.25. Again, the result is positive. For the third one, I plug in 0. I'm going to get 1 times negative 4 times 2 squared, which is 4. And we'll get a negative result. And then for the last one, I'll get 6 times 2. Oops, hold on. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then 5 plus 2 is 7. Squared is 49. That's going to be a positive result. And then we look at our inequality. And our inequality said we wanted to be less than or equal to 0. So our solution set is only going to be negative 1 to 4. So let's look at the steps above, because doing a rational inequality is not much different. When we do a rational inequality, we want a single fraction on one side of the equation and a 0 on the other. And we solve for our critical points. So in the last example, the critical points were what made it equal to 0. And for a rational function, the critical points are going to be the numerator equal to 0 and the denominator equal to 0. We're going to plot the critical points on a number line just as we did before, identify our intervals, test the intervals, and then choose our intervals to make the inequality true. So I think you can see that from the numerator equaling 0, we're going to get a critical point of negative 2. And we're also going to get a critical point of x equals 3 from the denominator. Note, regardless if this is greater than or equal to, we would never include the one from the denominator because it's not part of the domain. So let's put these on a number line. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be open. And negative 2. And that's also going to be open. Open because it's just greater than, not greater than or equal to. And we'll make our intervals. So our intervals are going to be negative infinity to negative 2, negative 2 to 3, and 3 to infinity. Again, I'm going to test some values. I'm going to try to make my life easy, and I'll test negative 3, 0, and 4. And I can see that if I plug in negative 3, I'll get negative 1 over negative 6, which is positive. You actually get 0.17. When I plug in 0 for the next one, I get negative 0.17, which is a negative result. And when I plug in 4, I'll get 6 over 1, or 6, which is a positive result. And then we look back at our inequality, and we say, what did we want? We wanted it to be greater than 0 or positive. So our solution set is going to be negative infinity to negative 2, union 3 to infinity. Okay, we have one more example here. Not much different. Why don't you pause your video and make sure that you can do this? So the steps are: find your critical points, put them on a number line, identify your intervals, test your intervals, and then choose the correct answer. Pause your video and I will write the solution. Okay, to catch up here, we set the numerator equal to 0 and get positive or negative 2. We set the denominator equal to 0 and we get x equals 1. We put those on the number line, not including those values because we're greater than, not greater than, equal to. And then we test our values. When we plug in negative 3, you should get negative 1.25 or a negative result. So in here it will be negative. When you plug in 0, you should get 4, which is a positive result. So in here you will get positive. When you plug in 1.5, you should get negative 3.5, which is a negative result. And then when you plug in 3, you should get 2.5, which is a positive result. We want to be greater than 0, so our solution is negative 2 to 1 union 2 to infinity. When you're working in Delta Math, they may give you a sign chart such as this and ask you to graph the equation or inequality. Or actually, it would probably just be an equation. So if you know that at negative 2 it's 0, at 1 it's 0, and at 2 it's 0, you need only decide if it's going to be above or below. So this was going to be negative. This was also going to be negative. This was going to be positive, and this was going to be positive. So as long as you go through those 0 points and you're above the x-axis when the inequality is greater than 0 and below the x-axis when it's less than 0, you should be able to make a quick sketch. So when you look at this, you might panic because it looks really scary. But as long as we follow the process that we had for the others, we'll be fine. And this is something that you might see in calculus. So the first thing I notice is that I have this e to the x in each one of these terms. And so because I have that e to the x, I'm going to factor that e to the x out. And that's going to leave me my e to the x. And then inside these brackets, 2 plus 2x plus 1 minus 2x plus 1 all over x minus 3 squared greater than 0. And you can see that x minus 3 will cancel with one of these x minus 3's. And if I collect like terms in here by first distributing, I'm going to have e to the x, and then I'm going to add these things inside. So I have 2x minus 2x goes to 0, minus 1 is also 0, so I have a 2 on the top, over x minus 3, and it's still greater than 0. So now I'm going to find my critical points. And our critical points in this case would come from the numerator when 2e to the x was 0. But that's never going to happen. We know the shape of that graph looks like this, and it has this asymptote at 0. Or x minus 3 is 0, so we only get one critical point, x equals 3. So I'm going to put that on the number line. Here's 0, 1, 2, 3. It's strictly greater than, so that's an open circle. My intervals, there's only 2, negative infinity up to 3, and 3 to infinity. I can test 0 and 4, for example. And I can plug it into the original, or I could plug it into this simplified if I'm confident I haven't made any errors. So I'm going to plug it in this one just for ease. So if I plug in 0, I'll get 2 times e to the 0, which is 2, and 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So that's a negative result. And then plugging in 4, I'll get 2e to the 4th over 1, which is a positive result. And my solution is then where it is greater than 0, or 3 to infinity. So we don't handle it any differently. It does get a little messier, but you have to follow the process, and if you follow the process, things fall out nicely. That concludes this video on rational inequalities.